Good morning. Now today we will begin with the next chapter, that is simple equations. So before we come on to the meaning of actually what is an equation, let us see that how these equations are being made or formed. In your previous class, that is your 6th standard, you have learned a little the basic idea about how to solve an equation through trial and error method. We will be studying that method again in this chapter also, but then we will be further learning different ways to solve the equations. Now we will first understand that why do we call simple equation and what is the actual meaning of this word equations. Okay, for example, if I write 5 plus 3 equals to 8. Okay, I am writing 4 plus 2 equals to 6. Or you can say that if I write 4 minus 2 equals to 2. Right. So I have got first a plus 1 and the next is of minus 1. Now if suppose, if instead of these two, I replace it with some variable. Okay. So instead of 5, I am using a variable and I write it like this. Okay. Here also I will use this minus x. In place of 2, I have used this. So this is also there. Now here we know that what is that symbol? This means equals to. What do we call it as? Equals to. That means it is a symbol or sign of equality, which shows that if you talk of this equals to sign, then whatever is there at the left hand side is equal to right hand side. That means both sides are equal to each other, right? So this equals to sign represents symbol of equality or statement of equality. Now when we talk of this words equations, it means that whenever in the statement of equalities any of the number is replaced by a variable, then we call it as an equation usually. Usually whenever, although this is also an equation, but we do not refer it as an equation, we call it as a statement of equality, or you can say that here both the sides are equal. But specifically when we put a variable instead of any of these numbers, or you can say I substitute the number with a variable, then it becomes an equation. Now what does this signifies? It signifies a statement of equality. Okay, what does it signifies? It signifies a statement of equality. Now, once you have replaced a number by x or by any other variable, by any other literal. Okay. So see, now we can confirm that also, that whenever we write a variable or we write a literal, why do we call it as a variable? We call it as a variable because its value depends upon other factors. Let us take this. If suppose here I have to find out the value of x. So what I do? X is equal to 8 minus 3, x is equal to 5. So see, here it was that 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. So this variable is having a value of 5. Now let us see what do we get in the second case. 4 minus x equals to 2. So minus x equals to 2 minus 4. So minus x equals to minus 2. Minus sign cancelled with each other. X is equal to 2. So here you can see that the value of x is 2. So the value in every case is coming different. It is not fixed. if suppose I say that this x, so if I am putting it as 5, then it will never be 5 always. It will keep on changing because the other two factors which are present in an equation are not same. They are different. So this is why we call it as a variable. And whenever a variable replaces or substitutes a number in the statement of equality, we called it as equations. Okay, or equation could be any statement of equality. Now if I am talking of this specifically is known as a linear equation. Why it is given the name linear? Linear is given because whatever variables are there, they only have power 1. Okay, the power is of 1. That means they will not have more than this power, right? That is why they are known as linear equation in one variable. In one variable means that they have only one literal. Okay, when you will move on to your senior classes, you will learn a more detail about equations in one variable as well as equations in two variables. But here in your 7th standard, you have to learn what is equation. Equation is a statement of equality, and when we talk of simple equations or linear equations in one variable, that means that whenever the variable has a power of 1 and it is having a sign of equals to present in between that, or you can say that this is an algebraic expression with an equals to sign. Okay, now presence of this equals to sign represents that this is a form of equation. So this is the meaning of simple equation, and whenever we talk of linear equation in one variable, then we mean to say that the variable will have power of 1. The variable will have the power of 1 and equals to sign present in the algebraic expression. Then that particular algebraic expression becomes an equation. So we also note that the power of the variable in each equation is only 1. An equation in which the highest power of variables involved in it is 1 is called as linear equation. Equations could be of any, like for example 2a plus b equals to 3, x minus 3y. They are known as the linear equations with two variables, wherein you have two variables present in an equation. Whenever it is only one variable, as if we have seen in this example that only one variable x, you can write instead of this a also, you can represent the equation with any form of literal, with any of the literal, right? So that doesn't make any difference to it. Now we will learn that if suppose a statement is given to us. Statement means if suppose in words some mathematical expression is given to you, then how can you express the same in the form of an equation? Now for that we will learn how to express a statement in the form of an equation. So whenever we talk of this statement, we will be forming an equation. Now formation of an equation from a statement. Formation of an equation from a statement. For example, I have got, if you add 4 to x, you get 20. So my statement is, if you add 4 to x, you get 20. So how are you going to express it in the form of equation? 4 to x means x plus 4, you get 20. That means it is equal to 20, right? So this is how an equation is formed. If you take away 6 from y, you get 4. If you take away 6 from y, you get 4. Okay. So in that case, what is there? What will be the equation that will be formed? Y minus 6 equals to 4. So this is how these statements are given to you, and you can frame an equation for the following statements. Now suppose it is the sum of numbers x and 7 is 10. Sum of numbers x and 7 is 10. So the equation becomes x plus 7 equals to 10. So in such cases, this is how whatever information is given in the form of statement could be expressed in the form of an equation also. 7 times z is 42. So if I am writing it as 7 times z, what does that mean? 7 times z is 42. So 7 times means you are multiplying. Okay, this times means a symbol of multiplication. So 7 and z are multiplying each other, then you are getting 42. Right? This is again a kind of expression of a statement in an equation. The number a divided by 4 gives 5. So a number a, when it is divided by 4, it gives 5. So a upon 4 equals to 5. This is again a form of equation. So this is how the equations are formed from the given statements. So let us learn few examples to do so. That if suppose in detail you have got lot many information in a statement, then how can you express that particular information in the form of an equation? So the first question that we have is of the examples. Illustrative examples. Now, Reena's father is 50 years old. He is 5 years older than 3 times Reena's age. Write the statement in the form of an equation. Now, what you can do? You can take Reena's age as y years. So, first of all, we will write let age of Reena be y years. Okay, now what is the next information given? Then 3 times Reena's age. Okay, 3 times Reena's age means Reena's age equals to 3 multiplied by y years. Now this will be expressed as 3y years, because it is implied that whenever there is no symbol between the coefficient, that is the numerical coefficient, and the variable, the sign that is existing is only of multiplication. Now, age of Reena's father. Age of father. Now, what is the age of Reena's father? Reena's father is 5 years older than 3 times Reena's age. Now, if Reena's age is 3 times, what will be her age? 3y. And if her father is 5 years older, then 5 will be added to this, and then father's age will become 3y plus 5 years. So, this is how this statement will be formed. Now, we have got that Reena's total age, Reena's father age is 50 years. Now, if this is the age of Reena, 3y plus 5, that is the actual age of father. So, according to the question, or you can say according to the question, the information that has to be framed in an equation is 3y plus 5 equals to 50. So, this will become your equation for the given statement. Next is, that is example 2. In example 2 we have got Tony, and let us see what is the information given in the question. Tony has 7 marbles, more than 5 times the marbles Sam has. Okay, so there are 2 boys, Tony and Sam. Tony has 7 marbles, more than 5 times the marbles Sam has. So let the marbles with Sam be X. Okay, so we have supposed that the marbles with Sam is X. You can suppose it as, let's say we are talking of marbles, so I will take a small m for that. Now then 5 times the marbles Sam has. 5 times the marble Sam has. 5m. Okay, then Tony has 7 more marbles than him. Okay, so what is the total number of marbles Tony has? Tony has 5 times m plus 7 marbles. Right? These many marbles are present with Tony. Now, Tony has 49 marbles. Express the statement in the form of an equation. Take m to be the number of Sam's marbles. So that already we have taken, that we have supposed to suppose the marbles with Sam are m in number. So if this is the marbles in total that Tony has, then according to the question, this will be equated to 49. So this becomes the statement of, this becomes the equation for the given statements. Now let us see in the next example. We will be talking about the isosceles triangle. So let us see what information is given about the isosceles triangle that we have to frame in the form of an equation. In an isosceles triangle, the vertex angle is twice either base angle. Write this statement in the form of an equation. So you have been given that you can suppose the base angle as b degrees. Remember that the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Now let us see, let each base angle be b degrees. Now, if I talk of an isosceles triangle, we know that in an isosceles triangle, 2 sides are equal. Right? These 2 sides are equal. Now, the base angles are this one and this one. When the sides are equal, we know one property about triangle that you will be studying in this class only later on, that expresses that equal sides subtends equal angles. Right? So, these 2 angles are B. Now, this angle, what is the measurement of this angle expressed as? Let us see. Now, the vertex angle twice either base angle. Okay, twice of the base angle. Let the vertex angle be 2b degrees, because it is twice of. You can put the symbol of degree also. So it expresses as that the vertex angle be 2b degree. Now we have got 2 angles represented as a variable b and 1 angle represented as a variable 2b. Now we all know that what is the angle sum property of a triangle, that the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So how are we going to form the equation? According to the question, we will be writing it as the sum of all the 3 angles b plus 2b equals to 180 degree. So this will become the statement, this will become an equation for the given statement of an isosceles triangle, wherein 2 angles on the base are given as b and 1 angle, that is the vertex angle, has to be supposed as twice of the b. So now we will move on to the solution of an equation, that how do we actually solve the equations. Now when we have to find out the solution of these equations, we mean that we are supposed to find out the value of the given variable in the statement of equality. So just now as we have done this example, in this example what were we supposed to find the value of? We were supposed to find out the value of b. Right, because b is the variable that is present in the equation. So whenever we are talking of finding a solution of the equation, we just have to find out the value of the variable which is present there in the equation. So we'll be talking about solution of an equation. Now when we talk of solution of an equation, then you mean to say we have got three methods, right? For solution of an equation, we have got three methods. Okay, first one is trial and error method. Then we have got systematic balancing method. Then we have got transposition method. So whenever we talk of solving an equation, we mean to say that we will be talking of these three methods to solve for an equation. That means trial and error method. What do you mean by this method? This method simply talks about that on your own you will be thinking the values for the variable and you will substitute that value in the equation and you will find out the solution, that whether the left hand side and right hand side are coming to be equal or not. In systematic balancing method, whatever division or multiplication you choose, the same number will be divided or multiplied to the both sides of the equation, and then again we will see that whether left hand side and right hand side are coming to be equal or not. If suppose by dividing or by multiplying with that same number or by adding or subtracting the same number towards both the sides of the equation, the equation will get getting a solution. That means we have done the systematic balancing of that particular equation and we have come to a solution of the equation. Then we talk of this transposition method. Transposition method means actually transferring the constant terms and the variable terms towards the left hand side and right hand side of the equation by getting their signs changed. So this is how we find out the solution of an equation. Now we are going to study all these methods one by one in the detail. So let us begin with with solving an equation by trial and error method. That is a number which when substituted for the variable in an equation makes LHS and RHS to be equal, and that particular root of the or solution of the equation satisfies the balancing of the equation. That means the two sides come to be equal. This is how the error and trial and error method is performed. Now let us take one example to understand the same. If I am particularly talking of trial and error method, what do I mean? We'll be talking of this trial and error method as suppose I have got an equation that is x minus 6 equals to minus 4. X minus 6 equals to minus 4. This is the given equation. Now I have to solve it by applying the trial and error method. Now if suppose I apply trial and error method, what I am supposed to do? I will form a table. Now in this table, I will divide this table into 3 parts. Now in the first part, I will be writing value of X, LHS, RHS. Right? Now whatever value of X I will put here, the same value I will put in the LHS. Now suppose I have got 0. So 0 minus 6 is not minus 4. That means the value of the variable is not 0 at all. Now let me put 1. If I put 1 minus 6, it gives you minus 5. Then again the solution or the answer that I am getting in right hand side is not matching to the equation. That means 1 is not the value of the variable. Now I will put 2 here, right? Now after putting 2 here, if I write it, substitute x by 2, then I can put it as 2 minus 6, then certainly I get minus 4. Now the value that I have, or the number or the integer that I have towards the right hand side of the equation is getting matched now. That means the value of x will be 2, because when you keep x as 2, then both the sides of the equation becomes balanced and same value is there at the left hand side and at the right hand side. So this is how we use trial and error method to find the solutions of the equation by just substituting the value of x, because we have, why the method has been given the name of trial and error. The method has been given this name because you are trying to put different values of the variable and then you are checking whether you are getting a correct answer or you are getting an error in the solution. Now let us we'll be discussing the exercise 6a in the next session.